Almost a keep. But almost. There was a Polish ad when I was a kid which used to repeat the slogan that almost makes a great difference. And it would apply here. Oh, yeah. I mean, I guess. But Griselbrand. Find land and dinosaur man. Once I'm already on 6. Belcher, okay. Ooh, wrong fetch. Of course, this is the worst fetch. This can fetch both basics, this cannot, so. Ay. First play of the day and already a mistake. That said, with 2 pacts, I might actually be able to push my Allosaurus Rider through. Buongiorno Ice Cream Man 1992. Mr. Ice Creamer. Not interested in Disciple of Freyalise. Eldritch Evolution. That's not the one I was missing. If I draw a Pact, I will have to consign 3 pacts, up to 3 pacts, which will be possible, but maybe not easy. They're holding a Disrupting Shoal currently. Gets Sing into Stupor and puts a land into play. I need to draw the Allosaurus Rider instantly, otherwise if my opponent just casts a Belcher, that's bad. Of course, just casting a Belcher into a Consign deck is a little bit optimistic for them. It does suck that I'm getting hit by those standard type trainers and damage is being dealt to me. My Griselbrand is going to draw 7 cards already, not 14. If they cast a Tameshi now, I'm in a horrible spot. Problems firing in big 2025, yeah. It's a bit rough, but this one has fired. I guess it's because it's early in the season, so people are actually QP starved, including me. So if I let this Tameshi resolve, can I realistically win? I think the answer is no. But if I counter it, it's also not really a viable path. Kind of crazy how strong the Tameshi Bloom interaction is and how there used to be a deck that was just entirely that, right? I guess it was a pretty bad deck. It wasn't bad, it was underexplored. Well, the deck was bad, right? I think it was pretty... Well, I guess it was not explored all that much, but it was somewhat explored. I remember Nassif playing it a lot. Well, a significant amount at least, and I played it a little bit and it felt pretty bad. Cultivator Colossus. That was probably pre-consign as well, because you could not buy a decker on Cultivator Colossus afterwards. Unfortunately, underscore stream has defeated me as I have failed to draw anything. But post-board we can employ the beatdown plan. Running through my head. Should we board out a forest against this matchup? Seems like the life loss is not gonna be too painful. It might be with Griselbrand though. String 1 Hedge Maze for the Temple Garden. Since I have 4. And we're going to fit that all into my deck somehow. First we're going to reduce pacts. Secondly, we're going to reduce evolutions. Third, we're going to reduce a Ghalta. And we're halfway there. So we're going to remove Eldritch Evolutions fully. Why do you need comma? It's to have a second 7 drop to evolve my Mandrill into. That's probably nonsensical in this matchup. I think we can just roll with just a single Atraxa. If I draw it, so be it. I will just keep a Mandrill in play and keep attacking them. And I'll cut Xenagos because I'm reducing pacts anyways. Be like this. Now, is this a cohesive deck that makes sense? We will see. Kind of, not really, but it's good. Well, this is hard to mulligan, right? This is just a turn to win if I get a little bit lucky and draw a blue producing land. Having forest in the opening hand is a bit stinky, of course, because I have some lands that are just green. But what can you do? Maybe Bridgeworks Battle should be the land I cut for Temple Garden. It's going to be Temple Garden, yeah. Of course. How could it be anything else? All the things she said, running through my head. The shock. Okay. Guess we're gonna be giga protected once we go off. No, yeah. Feels too bad to me to cast the Rider just yet. Ay. Keep did not pan out. Smart. Well, that almost gets me there. Really lame beginning to the Prelim. Let's join a league. Wait, an actual Prelim has started. Yes, that's because it's early in the season, so folks are QP starved. There's been no time to build your collection of qualifier points just yet, so people don't have them, which means they play prelims. Energy, they do have Ragavan, which is the most threatening start. But my hand should be fine. Need land number 3, I can't afford to keep Atraxa. Okay, that's... I guess I don't need a land, I misspoke. Hello, Mr. Streamer. I assume you will play both Mox Opens this weekend. Let's actually get Ureni. I think Ureni wins 100% here. I will play both Mox Opens this weekend, yes. I will probably not be streaming them because streaming long sealed tournaments is impossible anyways, and then it's a short sealed tournament if you open badly anyways, and or play badly. I wanted to play the limited prelim today at 9 AM for practice, but it did not fire, which was sad. I woke up at 8:50, rushed to my PC to see one guy waiting in the queue in the event. Alright, Grand Cenobit in Veil of Summer, out Mandrills in Submit in. Do I play other TCGs apart from Magic? I've seen people getting into Flesh and Blood and stuff. I don't really play digital. Ooh, that's all 4 hate drops. I really play at my computer mostly. So I would play digital ones maybe, but I've been playing Hearthstone, but like very recreationally. Lately I've been streaming some Hearthstone through August. Again. Well, I have the Mandrill and Pact for Orim's Chant. Might be better than mulliganing. We put back Boseiju, although kinda not sure about that. So the answer is not really. I don't play many. I don't really play other TCGs. Flesh and Blood being only playable in Flesh and Blood is like... it's very unappealing to me. I guess I know it's appealing to some others, so... does have an audience, just not me. We're going to Planar Genesis this turn. And hopefully Elesh Norn, my opponent's 1-drops. I Surveil, I see Flash in Graveyard, cool. Only Komataman probably. It was actually not Komataman, it was some other guy. The Flesh and Blood digital fan-made client is actually pretty serviceable. Yeah, that's fair, but... like the tournaments are only... tournaments are not on that, right? There is some Flesh and Blood communities in Poland. And Kowalski was the world champion last year, even, right? Oh, I guess I'll take the Rider. Will be Rider. I guess so. Rider lets me just... well, I don't have an evolution. But if I draw an evolution, I don't need to pay for a pact, so I don't need to search for Consign, which is convenient. Rider as a blocker, maybe that's my best hope. Although I doubt it because the amount of cards is actually not going to be that huge. They only make 1 with the first one, no Ascend yet, and then they make 1, 2, 3, 4 cards and a treasure. 3 cards and a treasure. No, 4 cards? No, 3 cards. Holy shit, Ocelot Pride is fucked up. True Neoform though, which is annoying. Maybe I made a mistake fetching an island, not a forest. Wait, it is not annoying, I have a pact, so we can just go for Xenagos, right? They have 23 total, so Xenagos is gonna be 26, so that's good enough. Alright, I take it back. It was actually a great draw. So that's why taking Rider was good, because it made it so that if I draw Neoform, I can Xenagos them, and if I draw Evolution, I can just get Elesh Norn by playing this as a land. Rider as a blocker, you say, chat. Rider? I barely knew her. Usher of the Fallen to Ocelot Pride Pipeline. Is Usher of the Fallen still in the Vintage Cube? Because if it is, it's actually kind of funny if you put those two cards next to each other. And you think to yourself, I guess, yes, that's the natural progression of the power level increase. Since my buff ability has resolved, Ghalta is outside of Trap and Charm's range. I guess before that it dealt 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16 damage. Do you ever actually ramp with Planar Genesis? Yes, yes. I mean, sometimes you're just looking for a land, so you just take it. Mostly happens when you want to cast Eldritch Evolution and you're just looking for the third land. Or sometimes you want to get to 4 lands so that you can Eldritch Evolution and hold up a Veil or Dispute. It is an uncommon standard card versus a mythic modern only card. Not surprising, the power level is very different. Pride is a bit too much though, I agree. Well, they're both in Vintage Cube, or at least, like, I think there was a time where they both were in Vintage Cube. Or at least Asher was in the Vintage Cube up until Ocelot Pride replaced it, which is pretty funny. Still, the, like, level of upgrade, right? Should I keep this? No combo piece? Do they have any dangerous Saga targets? Anti will not play Vexing Bobble, they play too many Moxen. In the Mr. Tix's game, I don't know. Cage would suck, that is true. I think I should mulligan a hand with no piece at all. This I'll keep, put Bug a Forest. Really bad to just play tapped Breeding Pool and no Surveil Land. Feels like caveman times again. Alright, I'm curious what they will find. Might be a bad idea to let them, but okay, they have a cage. You want cage would indeed sack. Holy shit, you got me. Should the Mandrills enter? Should I have Ureni to be able to finish off a Tamio? Otherwise I can't deal with Tamio. Probably not, I will be on the play. I think Val is actually not great, right? Because it's a pretty bad way to fight against Metallic Rebuke. I'll just draw my Pact if I need to. Yeah. In the meantime, Mr. Tixis plays a Belcher land. So I could land Distract, which is not necessarily great because I will need a land number 3 for Eldritch Evolution. I think I'll just cast a Sorcery Speed Genesis. Sorcery Speed Sega Genesis. Take End. Just better if I draw another land in my draw step, then I don't have to commit the end to a land. In the meanwhile, against Spiritmonger, I guess we have Mandrill and Neoform, which means Atraxa. Here I drew another evolution. I will Surveil, although tempting to Boseiju again. But I need to draw a Rider to compete. Of course, the opponent can now play an untapped land, and already they can have Weir for Lotus available. Seems like I lose. I mean, not necessarily, but possibly. We even have Consign for a gauge. Buy a turn with Boseiju. Well, buys a turn against Belcher. Doesn't against Tameshi. This should actually be called like Mono Blue Tameshi, because it's way better than the stupid Belcher card. They don't run on tapped wildland usually. Oh, Boseiju the Lotus. Of course, I should have done that. That was good, yeah. That was good to do. For some reason, I only thought I only thought about hitting the land, but yeah, I guess. Obviously. Alright, I'll move the league game to the second screen to double queue more efficiently. They played a... Oh, Aether Spell Bomb. I think I should actually Pact. Okay. Now I Consign, and I still get countered somehow, but if I don't, then it would be a good spot. I mean, obviously they know that I have a Consign because I Pacted, otherwise I wouldn't have Pacted. So... Belcher is a rough matchup. But we could have hit the Lotus, yeah, that would have been quite solid. Well, somewhat, like, they probably would just... kill me anyways, but... I wonder if I want any Nature's Claims. But it's pretty narrow, it's for when they play Belcher and they just sit on a naked Belcher. I have a Boseiju for that draw in my deck, technically. But we'll see. Alright, opponent Belch all over me again, as I hopelessly try to Voice of Victory. Nice mana-based moment. Naked Belcher is what I call my elected representative. Naked Belcher. True. That does sound good. Do you think I should keep this chat? No, thank you for being my reality check. This hand is way better. It's like the same hand, but way better. Holy shit. I'll play turn 2 Voice and then turn 3 Planar Genesis and turn 4 Mandrills, then die. Sounds good. They're keeping up mana. Thoughts on a second one? Putting a card in my graveyard just fuels Mandrills, so that's probably a deal breaker. The beatdown is kind of nice, but I'm not like the beatdown needs to be supplemented by interaction card. Maybe. It's graveyard because using the Mandrills as a tiebreaker. Okay. Now he said he shocked. Oh no, that's a blocker for my voice. Found Lotus Bloom and suspended it. Oh no. That's bad. Seems like a consign moment. Well, I'm glad I did not keep my second voice because it would be horrible. Griselbrand. What a draw. Aye, what now? If I play Mandrill, I will just die to Belcher. If I hold up a Veil and they don't play Belcher, it's horrible. Should maybe have a powerful free drop too. Like if I had a Clarion Conqueror, I guess I Neoform into Clarion Conqueror. But that means I sacrifice Voice as a cost and they can prevent that. It's not great either. But if they have a Tameshi, like, I don't really have a good way to answer Tameshi in my deck. Dispute, I guess, is the closest. Upland. Eh. You know, maybe I actually regret not taking the second voice because I would have dealt 6 more damage and I would be dealing lethal next turn now. If I voiced over Planar Genesis Inc. Now I'm just wasting my time. No, that's not bad, but also not great because they will have Lotus Bloom. Ay. The Delver plan, not really. The Delver plan lacking the ability to actually Delver. Am I supposed to consign this? Not really it. If no Lotus in Grave, Tameshi is just a blocker. Well, there is Lotus in Suspend. Like, the issue is that if I don't consign this, they play Belcher and they win. Because I don't have Belcher removal on my deck. Maybe I should board Clarion Conquerors and not Voice of Victories. Aye, that's the wrong ability as well. I was not supposed to hit this one. It has to resolve and then I hit the next one. Fuck me. It's gonna be rough. Doesn't matter. At least. I play Srameshi, the most powerful card in my entire deck that always wins when deployed. Alright, we lost the affinity match to Pact of Negation. Well, so Neoform feels pretty horrible against blue. Feels pretty great against non-blue. Which I guess big surprise, right? But if the Prelim is going to be Belcher twice, then I guess I don't really want to play that. Oy. Lots of meta shifts in Modern with Edge of Eternities, kinda. I kinda miss it when Boros Energy had the Onion Ring and was 40% of the meta game. This time against Magos and, well, Rider Neoform, a green card. This is almost perfect. Thundering Falls, yet another blue gamer. I did draw a green card. Let's keep a Veil, maybe I can wait. If they just hold up 2 blue mana, then I'll just wait until turn 3. Faithless Looting. Is this Grixis Reanimator then? Oculus and sink into stupor. Hopefully no Fotsies. But cracking a fetch in this spot probably means Fotsies. Ay ay ay. Nerf Oculus, that's fine, that's fine. They don't typically play Force. Although they very well could. What do I want? Ureni sounds bad against Ochulus and Archon. Just Griselbrand. Oh, they're not F6'd. Monka. Alright, good. We have Pact, Consign. Awesome. Can pitch 3 fetches. And chill. Persist. Not on my watch. Oh. Let's make sure not to consign my opponent's Oculus trigger instead. I think I would rather have 2 mana available to Neoform. Attack for 9. If I pay 7 then attack, then I'm fine. I drew Rider and Neoform so we can kill them. Whoops. Order Lul. Which puts them to -17. Good, good. We have defeated an opponent, chat, which is a rarity on this stream lately. Let's add a Veil of Summer. It's got Ureni. Ureni seems not good. They will have Spell Pierce. But I think I just want 4 Veil for Pact. I don't want Disputes. There's not enough to warrant Dispute. I do need to keep Xenagos Ghalta. It's absolutely necessary. I think I'm not interested in the rest of my sideboard. I think this is not a matchup for Mr. Mandrill. So instead I will just register that. And almost the same deck. Okay, we have Neoform Xenagos. Green cards, 2 lands. Sure, it's a bit on the weaker end. I think I will keep it, but very well could just lose. Could be keep and lose. Looting. Ragavan. Well, that's a good draw. Should cycle the Generous Ent before Ragavan hits me to get my breeding pool. Have to dodge Fotzies. Or 2 counter spells. What the heck, Steam Vents Ragavan is just 3 years ago? My opponent is playing the Grixis Reanimator deck. It would appear that they are main decking sideboarding Ragavan, maybe. I guess if they reanimate Archon, that's also a problem. Because then I don't really have any place to make. Seems like that's what they're doing, right? No, black floating. What is this? Oh, they flipped my... Okay, they flipped my Neoform. What the heck? That's the first time I've ever seen that. I was wondering what they're casting because they floated black and they didn't spend their black, so I was like, what? I did not notice that the Ragavan took my Neoform. That's kind of fucked up if you think about it. Like, your opponent hits you with a Ragavan and then Neoforms it into a frog with a counter. Also, Giga weak and I have a turn to kill, so... Yeah, I don't know. Whoops, almost clicked Griselbrand. Probably would still win with Griselbrand, but... Neoforming monkey into a frog is some real simic fuckery, true. Life comes from water and now water reclaims life. We talk about return to monkey, but how about return to amphibian from being a monkey? Neoforming and Elf riding a dinosaur into a big ass dinosaur thematically makes sense. What happens to the dinosaur, to the Allosaurus steed? Because, chat, remember, this creature, this is an Allosaurus Rider. It's an elf warrior. So the dinosaur the Allosaurus nothing happens to it, while the elf becomes a Griselbrand or Ghalta. I guess maybe the Allosaurus just joins the Ghalta's group of friends. Fusion Dance. Animorphs were so base. I think I had a few Animorphs books and the covers were always going kind of hard, kind of crazy. The in-between stages looked really goofy at times. Yeah, it's a Ghalta or Griselbrand riding the Allosaurus.